Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is an Equal Game Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. What is the Monday painting video? What's it all about? Well, the Monday painting video is a painting video in which I paint a model or models voted on by you guys from last week's Weekly Wednesday, which is a weekly Q&A. In that video, I'll show you a host of models and you guys vote on what you want to paint for Monday's painting video. So for all my regulars here, guys, I would love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so 2 votes. It was Mr. Azrael, which is an absolute beast of a model, without me dropping him. An absolute beast of a model to paint. So much detail on this guy, especially on that banner. So much detail on it. So let me run you through. All I've done is still using drab. I say dry brush. It's not actually a dry brush I put on the gravel, but I sort of painting over the gravel, but not to get into every nick and cranny, just to go over the top, which gives you this amazing effect on the base. When it dries, it gives you the black shows through just as much as the still using drab. Right, wet palette. We have some lead belcher, white scars, some youth and grey, some corn red and screaming skull, my chapter colours, Lopin blue, rich with armour and rhinox hide. Now there could be a few more colours that come into that, you know, I don't know, but we'll start off with so much robes on this guy. We're going to start off with some youth and grey. I'm going to paint all these robes with youth and grey. Let's give it a nice little base colour of that. Get the robes on the inside as well. I'm not going to do the whole lot on camera. I'll do a little bit so you get the idea of what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go off camera and do the rest. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is add my chapter colours, which is the corn red and screaming skull. Again, I'm just going to do a little bit on camera. Corn red goes this side. And the screaming skull goes the other side. There's not much armour exposed, but there's enough for me to do. So I'm going to crack on and do that. And so here we are. Now the chapter colours, the screaming skull, this is the first coat. Looks a bit, does look a bit rough, but that's okay because it's in the first little coat. I also chucked a little bit of youth and grey on the feathers there, and I filled in all the purity seal bits. And there's a feather and some purity seals coming off of his chest piece there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come in with some rhinox hide. I'm going to get all these leather pouches whilst I'm here, get them out of the way. And you see me sit there and do that all on camera. Right, so these little pouches are done. Now I'm going to come in with some lead belcher. The first thing I do is get his sword. Now you notice I'm just doing it like this. I don't want to give it, I don't want to, let me get zoom in on this. I don't want to give it a proper covering in silver. I want to chop it from side to side, so the raised areas get the most hit. It's not a dry brush, but it's not far from a dry brush. Yeah, just so that I can have bits of the black coming through. So for later on stages, it's going to give me dark and light on his power weapon before we've even started. Now I'm going to come in, just give his weapon, I say a quick once over with silver, but I don't want to paint, I don't want to make it silver, I just want to try and get as sort of another dry brush sort of thing. A bit too much paint on the brush, I think. As those of you that are regulars here know, I don't don't really go too much on weapons, unless it's like, well, he will get a little bit special on him because he's a named character, but normally I don't really go too crazy on weapons. The next thing I'm going to do, actually, I've actually already done the wings on his banner. I'm going to take a tiny little bit. I'm going to come in, just get that blade. It's a very, very hard modelled, very hard balance of paint. I'm going to go around and, oh, these bits I've got. Bits into here. Right, so now I'm going to come in with some Retributorama. I'm going to pick out everything that I want to be gold. So it's going to have a fair amount of bits and pieces that are gold. Now some of these pieces might take a couple of coats, like this piece here I'm doing, just to get into every little nook onto it. You get this Dark Angel symbol on his shoulder, his chest obviously. He's got braces on his arm here that I'm going to do Retributorama as well. This bit at the back. There's a few bits like the shield on his arm here, and he's hanging off of him. Some of these little holy relics hanging off the front of him. So I'm going to go off camera and do the Retributorama on them. Come back to you when it's done. So here we are. Now, I chucked a little bit of red on there, on his gun. And a sort of dry brush, not dry brush, but she'll just have a gentle brush of the gold onto the, if I knock in the camera, on the angel on his banner. It's not as detailed, the banner's detailed, but it's not as detailed as the ancient I did a while ago. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come in with some white scars. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick out all these raised areas, just try and brush them down. Get there, watch in the dark as well. I'm going to come to the weapon. So you can say, what the hell are you doing here? You're going to see, when we come to the next stage, notice how I've done that with the sword. What the hell is this crazy man doing? You'll see. I'm going to also hit the feathers. Well, I did the trim on his helmet as well. Just this bit going along here with the gold. I'm also going to pick out the feathers on the back, the robes. Sorry, the feathers on the back of the banner. So I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of the white highlight. Right, so now I'm going to take some of this Dreadful Visage contrast paint. This is one of those weird colours that never goes on the way, never looks the way it is. No, sorry, I'm saying that wrong. It's one of those colours that you want to look a certain way, and you have to really discover how it's meant to be on. Like, I have Polar Glacier, which is a brilliant colour for ghostal, spectral stuff. But anyway, I'm going to paint this purple onto the, as I'm talking about, it doesn't really come off that bright. It's going to probably have a couple of coats, I'd say. That's not too pleased with that straight away. But we'll leave that to dry. You can always come in with a slightly different colour afterwards. Now I'm going to come in with some Leviathan Blue contrast paint. And this blue I'm going to put all over these robes, hence why we came with the white and just highlighted up with the white. And I'm not going to do this all on camera, I'm just going to do a little bit on camera and then go off camera and do the rest. Now I'm going to come with some Fallopius pink. Now this is a good colour when you're trying to do like flayed skin. I did it on Vashtor, it looks absolutely amazing. I'm going to come in and do this cloak underneath. Straight away the two cloaks have a contrast to each other, which is absolutely fantastic. And get this little feather as well whilst I'm there. I mean, that looks absolutely fantastic already. Next I'm coming in my favourite contrast, Eldari Emerald. My regulars will know where this is going. I'm going to slap it all on the sword. Now when I put the white on there, it's going to really give me a nice little effect. Of course I put too much on. So now I'm going to take some off. Wait for it to dry, then you'll see the result. Right, so I was racking myself for what colour I'm going to do the watcher, so I've gone with some Talazar blue, because the other choices are striking scorpion green, which might be okay actually, but I think that would be too much of a contrast to the sword. Iron Jaws yellow, which I'm actually, no, I'm going to go with Iron Jaws yellow. I think Talazar blue would be too much of a blue to go with the cloak. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Iron Jaws yellow. I do need to get myself some more contrast paints, I'll tell you that. So I'm just going to whack this onto the watcher. I've used this colour before over the silver, and it comes like a gold effect. So hopefully this will give me a nice look. It's a bit bright. That's my first thought, it's a bit bright. Well, I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of him. Right, so whilst those contrast paints are drying, it's still a little bit wet and shiny as you can see, I'm going to come in with some Lothern blue, and I'm going to pick out all of his purity seals. Before someone asks me, why is it that you do purity seals blue when it should be red? Because of the colour of the red. Sometimes the purity seals are like here on the red, and if I do it the red, it's not going to be that noticeable, or I'm going to have to come in and do a highlight and all that sort of business. So if I do it as a blue colour, not only does it stand the purity seal out even more, it's also a lot easier to see, and just breaks the mod up a little bit as well. There's a lot of purity seals on himself. Watch for the dark eyes one on him as well by the looks of it. Right, now I'm going to come with some Skeleton Horde contrast paint. This is a simple thing over the skulls. To really make them stand out. I'm going to wait for all that to dry. But for all intensive purposes, this guy is battle ready. Now, so I'll wait for the contrast paint to dry, and then I'm going to come in for take it beyond battle ready standard. So for everyone that's new, battle ready standard means you can go straight on the table and away you go. Taking it beyond battle ready standard means you're doing anything from a dry brush to an edge highlight to edge highlighting, dry brush layering. Sorry, let me start again. Dry brush, shading, edge highlighting, anything like that. Could be a combination of all, could just be, just a few little bits. Highlighting as well. So I'm going to let it dry down a bit, and then I'm going to come in for the next bit. Right, so I'm going to start off with a little bit of white scars. I'm going to come in and just edge highlight those feathers. Really just to find them out of it. I'm going to edge highlight. I don't know if this is quite dry, but I'm going to highlight just along the edge of this feather. Just whack a little bit of white scars on all the scrolls from the purity seals. So yeah, the purity seal scrolls. Just to stand them out a bit more. I'm going to take a bit of corn red. I'm going to come into the sword, and there's gems on the sword that I'm just going to pick out. Just to make that still a little bit wet. That sword. I'm going to take a tiny bit of Screaming Skull, brush it off my brush. Then a dry brush, dry brush. Then I whack someone randomly along the leather bits on his back, on his pouches, sorry. Just to give me a little bit of a worn leather look. I'm going to come in with some Druki Violet, because I forgot this colour beforehand. And I didn't forget the colour, I forgot the weapon. It's a mastercrafted combi weapon type thing. So I'm going to come in and get the bit underneath, which is like a plasma type. I can't remember what it is actually, but I know it's a bolter combo something or other. Now what I'm going to do, I was thrown off at one point because the shoulder pad here looks like it's got blue tint on it, and it's not, it's just a shadow from the banner. What I'm going to do now is take some Lothern blue, brush it off onto my tissue. I'm going to come in and just gently edge highlight all of these edges of this cloak. Again, I'm not going to do all of it on camera, I'm going to do some of it. I'll just go because there's a lot to do here. And when talking about taking it beyond battle ready, the one thing I forgot about was dry paint. So those of you who don't know, dry paint looks like putty. It looks horrible, but it's actually so brilliant. Again, I need to get some more different colours of this. So it comes out. This is Niblet Green, by the way. Now with this Niblet Green, take some onto the brush. I'm going to whack some onto a tissue. And I want to get the sword, but I don't want to get the whole sword. I just want to get where I did the lighter bits. So where I hit it with the white. A bit too much there. Damn it. I did a bit too much of the Niblet Green on there, but it's not going to matter because it's going to dry down nicely. And there we have him, guys. So first thing I want to say is thank you to everyone who voted, because actually I love it when you guys vote on models for me to paint. Next thing I'm going to say is, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you're going to see this for the first time, hit the subscribe button because it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel grow in a massive way. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything that I produce. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube shares this video and more people. It makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. I'm going to give you a quick look at him. I'll bring you down and show you some pretty pictures afterwards. I'm not too sure, but I think I put too much green on too much of the Niblet Green, I think, on the sword. But you guys chuck comments below as normal. Anyway guys, hit the buttons for me. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take it easy.